Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
Man, we've got a guy that has been involved in a lot of different stuff. Stunt man, the whole 9 yards. Angelo Lamonea, good morning. How are you?
Just fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be talking to you, and pretty interesting stuff that you've been involved in. You're actually a stunt man for a lot of different movies. One of the things that always stands out is the Dukes of Hazzard. So how is your back?
My back's okay.
Yeah.
You know what the secret to doing stunts is? If you can't do it twice, don't do it once.
Oh, okay.
And so if you get hurt as a stunt man, you get a bad reputation and people don't hire you.
Right.
So I've worked with cracked ribs and stuff, but I didn't quite want to let anybody know that I was hurt.
That's right. I can understand. That's why we were with kids, It's like, hey, bring my leg. I'm okay. I'm okay. Just bring my leg with me. So yeah. How did you get started in the stunt business? I mean, what made you?
So I wanted to be in the movies and everything.
Right.
I hitchhiked to after I left Santa Monica College.
Right.
I hitchhiked across the United States. I was really going to be an actor.
Yeah.
And I went to New York City, and I tried, and I got accepted at the actor studio, but I just couldn't stand New York City. There's no beach and everything, so I hitchhiked back.
Yeah.
And I came back to L.A., and I just working out down the beach and stuff like that, and this older gentleman who was a stunt coordinator on Batman.
Right.
And his name was Paul Stater.
Right.
And he said, well, you're in pretty good shape. You want to be in the movies. Why don't you come down to this gym? I'll teach you how to do some high falls. I'll teach you how to do some fights and a little fencing. And maybe I can get you a job. So my first job was on Batman. I was one of the Zaps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I started working from there, doing little features. Started working for Roger Corman. Did Fighting Mad with Peter Fonda down in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Right.
And then I did. I had the first line in Martin Scorsese's first movie.
Right.
It's called Boxcar Bertha, and I was there with David Carradine and Barbara Hershey. And I was finding spikes on the tracks, and there was a little track too. Tom Long, he ran this little scenic railroad train.
Right.
But anyway, my first line in that movie is "Keep your eye on the spike, Bill."
Right.
So I did some movies with Martin Scorsese, and la-di-da, started going. Then my big break came when they put me on Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, now, what year was that? Now, that was okay. Now, you didn't do
that. Was beginning of 1980.
Okay, so now, was you ever in Georgia when you was on the Dukes of Hazzard, or is that all when they moved to
No,
California?
the first 5 went to Georgia. As soon as they came back, they hired me.
Right. But now, you were like a bad guy. You were a state patrol. You did several background scenes in that other than just...
Oh, yeah. There were 4 regulars. I was on the show every day for 6 years.
Wow. Well, that's
there was Jerry Summers, Gary Baxley, Al Wyatt, and myself.
Right.
And we were the 4 regulars.
But now,
we doubled Luke, Bo, Roscoe, and Uncle Jesse.
Well, now one of the stunts that you did in the Dukes of Hazzard is probably one of the most pictured cars in the air, I guess, I think it's the one they used on all the Matchbox cars and everything. Is that am I thinking right on that?
That's right.
So tell us about that jump that you actually did that becomes so famous as far as the picture, because I mean it's cool.
That stunt was a mistake.
Really?
Yeah. So you have a pipe ramp. You know what a pipe ramp is?
Yep, it's a bar that goes up.
You hit it. It's a big pipe, and if you drive it 6 inches to one side, drive her up, drive her down, you'll roll the car.
Right.
But you want to hit it close to dead center so you'll fly high. It's a big, long pipe, and the car drives up, and naturally it's going to go. But I hit that dead center. I went 150 feet in the air.
Wow.
And it landed, and guys are coming up saying, "Wow, that was great," and everything. And the director goes, "Get that guy out of the car." So he comes over. He says, "The script said you're supposed to roll the car.
Right.
You don't start patting yourself on the back because you got this big jump. So you got to get in another car with no cage, no radiator, hit the pipe again, and make sure it rolls." So the next one came right down on the roof, and I'm laying in there. They had to dig me out.
Oh, Lord. Didn't hurt you? You okay?
I'm okay.
Did it pay twice, or you just get paid for one jump?
No, hell no. That was a mistake. See, if they hadn't got the shot that afternoon, we'd have to bring the company back tomorrow.
Right.
That's money.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to do that.
But now you did some stunts with Jumpin' Jack Flash, Getting Even.
Yeah, driving a cop car in New York City. Yeah, that was nice. Jumpin' Jack Flash was nice. Whoopi Goldberg was real nice to us.
Right. So now what did you do in Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
I'm chasing Pee-wee around. I'm driving that boat car.
Right.
I'm a cop.
Yeah.
And I'm chasing Pee-wee around the studio.
That is so
And I got a couple of lines at the beginning as he's going this way and everything, and then I get in this little boat car.
Right.
And we're going through stages and everything, and we chased Pee-wee.
Well, you should have just run over him, I guess. But
I couldn't catch him. He was too fast on his bicycle.
Now, you worked with Charlie Chain. How was that?
Huh? Yeah. The
Curse of the Dragon?
That was, I rode a buckboard in San Francisco, rode a buckboard into a pond.
Right.
You know, you tie the horse, you get in a buckboard, and you got your horses, and you ride them around in a circle going towards the cliff.
Right.
Then you lock the wheels on the buckboard, you hit the horses. When they get close to the cliff, you pull the pin, the horses go around, and you go off into the water.
That sounds like fun. Now, was you actually?
Yeah.
Did you work around Charlie? Did you actually get to, Charlie Chain? Did you work with him any?
No, not really. I mean, I saw him, but they were doing the first unit.
Right.
And they would come by and just kind of watch us do a gag, and then they leave.
Yeah. So now, what about Happy Days? You was on Happy Days?
Now, I jumped the shark for Fonzie. I taught Henry how to water ski.
Really?
Henry didn't want to do it on a stage.
Right.
And Fonzie didn't want to. He said he really wanted to learn how to water ski.
Right.
So I'd take him out every weekend. You know, the company, they rented a boat from Mastercraft and everything, and we took Henry out, taught him how to water ski, and then I did the skiing for him through the thing and jumped the shark.
Wow. He seems pretty cool.
But that's an infamous thing because that's, you know, jumping the shark is a term that means your series is going under.
Right.
So my claim to fame is that I was stunt coordinator and on the show that kind of sunk Happy Days because Happy Days has been on so long and everything.
Yeah. I can remember back then.
So when you say that series is Jumping the Shark, that means so. Oh well.
So Jumping the Shark means it's over with. It's going down. It's
exactly.
Yeah. So now, did you work on Dukes of Hazzard to the end, or not?
I will until the last season. I didn't work on.
Well, now the
They
last
started
season,
doing miniatures and stuff like that. I moved into the A-team. I did some Fall Guy, a lot of A-teams.
Right.
I did some Murder, She Wrote. But nothing was like Dukes of Hazzard because I was there every day.
You know, they had some good
But my
stunts
boss,
on that.
I worked for a man named Paul Baxley.
Right.
Paul Baxley was a great, great director, an action director.
Right.
And he would remind me, because we were pretty hot. We were the highest paid stuntman in Hollywood.
Right.
We were, nobody even expected Dukes of Hazzard to go that long. So and my boss would go, so I was kind of thinking I was pretty big and everything, and patting myself on the back, and Paul would go, remember, Angelo, fleeting fame, man.
Yeah.
Fleeting fame. And fleeting fame means, pretty soon the fame goes away.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But, the Dukes of Hazzard is still strong. I mean, of course, they don't show it on TV because of all the stuff going on, but it's still.
We didn't expect it to go that far. I remember a senator, or he might have even been the president, said, how can America expect to beat the Russians when they watch the Dukes of Hazzard?
Well, I growed up with it, and I loved it. I guarantee it. Of course,
we were number one show in the nation.
Yep.
We were number one show in the nation. It was just great.
So now,
but when we first started, we went, well, maybe this will go a series. Maybe this will go, a season.
Right. So,
but
now that you're
retired, it went a long time, and it was a great adventure that I'll never forget, and is a highlight of my life.
So now, what are you doing now? I mean, you got all this money you've made over the years. You just kick back with your feet up on the.
I'm just kicking back. I'm going to ride my motorcycle right now.
Oh, there you go. What kind of motorcycle?
I'm on the desert. There's no wind. When there's no wind, it's a good day to ride the bike. So I go out and I ride the bike, and I work with, that business can, when I mentioned fleeting fame, drugs and alcohol can be a bad influence on people.
Oh, yeah.
And so I wound up working with people that, alcoholics
right.
and addicts and stuff. So that's about the best thing I'm contributing right now, is working with people that have had bad experiences with drugs and alcohol.
Well, it'll get a hold of you. There's no doubt about it. Now, one thing that I found out about you that I did not know, Levon Helms. You was actually friends with Levon Helms.
I'm a very good friend of Levon Helms. I knew his mother, been to his house. Lee was he was a great man. He's my friend, man.
He's a great guy.
I'm proud to know that I was his friend, too.
Yeah, that's really cool. He seemed like just such a down-to-earth guy, and his music just lives on. Yeah. And his daughter, she's doing really good. Amy, she's doing really good. I think she's in New York now.
Yeah, is she good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, she's in New York now. And but that's pretty cool, man. I love Levon.
I used to talk to his mom. And it was a great experience because I met Lee when I was on location down in Arkansas.
Right.
And this guy come up to me and says, hey, man, this is the guy's the drummer for the band. And I'm on location. I said, hey, nice to meet you. And the guy come back to me. He says, hey, that's the drummer for the band.
Right.
And so I went back. I said, oh, how you doing?
Yeah.
God, you're Levon Helm and all that shit. He says, yeah. And so he gave me his phone number in Arkansas, and then he gave me his number. He says, they have a recording studio in Malibu. I lived in Malibu.
Right.
Alan Wyatt, who's gone now.
Right.
And I were the Duke boys in Malibu.
Right.
We pulled off some stunts. The sheriffs. One time, I threw a 180 on the sheriffs, and when I got back to my house, they were sitting in my driveway.
Waiting on you.
They said, Angelo, we know you driving that shit, but you can't pull that on the street.
Yeah.
And they didn't give me a ticket or anything.
Well, that's good. I guarantee you.
So we had some good times.
Well, that's great. That's great. We got one more thing I want to know before we go, because we're about to get up to it's time to go to a break. What kind of motorcycle do you got?
Right now, I have Yamaha 1300 Classic.
Okay. That's sweet. That's a sweet bike.
Yeah, it's a sweet bike.
Well, now listen, if
It's easy. I can afford it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can't spend $25,000 for a Harley Davidson.
I'm with you on that. They all ride the same. So
Yeah, well, this one's smooth.
yeah. So
This bike's smooth.
well,
It
Angelo.
hasn't given me no trouble. I've been riding it for about 6-7 years.
Well, I sure appreciate you calling in and giving us a little bit of insight on kind of some of the stuff that you've done. If somebody wanted to get up with you as far as, have you got a website or anything up now or Facebook?
Okay, I'm Angelo, Angeroll. Now, Angelo is the fact, because the joke around the thing, when I did that poster and that jump off the pipe ramp, Jerry Summers started with, what kind of roll doesn't roll? Because we don't say you flipped a car.
Right.
A stuntman says you rolled it or you did a turnover. What kind of roll doesn't roll? An Angelo.
Oh, I got it.
That was my license number in California and everything. Anyway, Angelo, Angeroll at 1942 at gmail.com.
All right, we got you. Well, I sure appreciate you calling in, man, and we're going to let you go.
Okay, good talking to you.
Folks, don't forget you can listen online anywhere in the world at wjulradio.com. That is wjulradio.com. Or you can listen live at Lake 97.7 WJUL. And don't forget, we're going to be uploading this to the YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So just go to the Morning Dish. You can listen to the show again and give us a like and give us a share. We appreciate it.